And I say one of the most nourishing things, back to what the Prophet ﷺ was said, you know, the best dish is the one with the most hands in it. That which will nourish us most, back to what, I didn't put Dean Ornish's book on my book list, but I should have. I just have flipped my mind, I would have put it on there. Love and Survival, the one that the author referred to. That's a good book, Love and Survival, Dean Ornish. But, you know, remembering what he said, that, and what the Prophet, reiterating what the truth of the Prophet, the best dish is the one with the most hands in it. Connecting with each other. Hug your children. Hug your spouse. Hug your brother, your sister. Be with them. Walk with them. Try walking hand in hand with somebody. Try it. If you like the person, if you really like them, recognize it feels good to walk hand in hand. Invite people into your homes. Invite people into your homes. Feed people, feed people, feed people. If you can't make good food, find someone that can make good food and teach you how to make good food. Or get someone that makes really good food and invite strangers into your house. Invite neighbors. Invite people that you first met. Invite someone you want to know. This is a jihad against the conspiracy of conditions in which we find ourselves for not just survival, not just for good health, but survival. It's survival. Because together is the way we do something. We can look at all of the wrongs and all of the faults and all of the things that don't work. And we can say, this doesn't work, and we can use our intellect and say, oh yeah, this is why and that's why. And we can write books about this is why and that's why. But we are the ones that will do something about it. It's not somebody else. It's not some sheikh or some teacher or somebody that's going to come and lift us out of this. That does not mean we don't make use of those people of knowledge and people with barakah. But we have to do the work of being human, being Muslim, and following the guidance of the Prophet, and be like him. Change the world. We have to be the ones to do it. And we'll do it not individually, we'll do it by supporting each other, by touching each other. I mean touching in the sense of brotherhood and sisterhood, of touching in that sense. And physically touching in some cases too, but being together. So, you know, if nothing else, I want to leave you with how do we implement these things in our daily life. It's following the Sunnah. That is, be generous. Be generous to people. You remember the story, the hadith and the story of the prostitute that came to the Prophet ﷺ. She came to him and he said to her, have you come to me to ply your wares? Or have you come to make shahada and become Muslim? And she said, neither one. I've come because I hear you're a generous person. And he gave her his cloak. And he said to his companions, and the people said, give to this woman. Show your generosity. You know, that's who he was. He went to the Jewish woman, you know, who put the trash in front of his door every day. When the trash wasn't there, he went to see if she was all right because she was sick. I mean, hello, this is what it's about. People out there are hurting. We're hurting too. We're not the only ones. There are people in pain, and lots of pain and suffering. And I tell you, we cannot do it alone. We do things together. We do things together. Islam believes in shura. It believes in community. The brick, in the hadith of the mu'min, the believers are like bricks in a building, but we must come together. It must be actual physically coming together. That's why the prayer, our salah is real. It's shoulder to shoulder. Touching each other. Boom, touching each other. Ranks. It's coming together. Now my sheikh, he said, feed people, feed people. And that's what he did. And that's one of the practices I've taken on myself, is feeding people. I mean, in the last, there was a period of time in my life when there were several years, and every 2 weeks I'd feed at least 35 or 40 people. Most of them non-Muslims, and most of them young people that were friends of my children who heard I'd made really good couscous and biryani and, you know, things like that, and they'd come and I'd make lots of really tasty things, and they'd come back for the food, and I'd say to them, look, I'm doing this and asking you to come here, and the reason this event happens is simply so we eat together and we associate rather than dissociate. It's not come to get high, right, or play music. And they understood it. They said, right, we get it. Right. And they'd come back. And then they'd bring their friends. And they'd bring more friends. And then other friends. And some would come and leave. And you know, the interesting thing is, in terms of dawah, the point of that was not dawah. My sheikh said, you know, don't make dawah to people, feed them. In other words, be a Muslim. Don't try to convince someone they should become Muslim. Be Muslim. That's dawah. He said, feed people. And you know, after 9/11, 9 of those people, one by one, came to me and said, after 9/11, they came and they called me before the dinner and they say, I'm coming to your dinner on Sunday, but could I come a little earlier? I wanted to sit and talk with you about something. And I knew what they were going to come and talk about. But I never said, no one ever said, oh, Islam is this or not that. All they did was come and they ate. So, but we have to work against this conspiracy of time and schedule and dissociation, what they call anomie in sociology, this isolation of individuals, the lone gunman. How many people could be healed just by simply being able to sit in a circle of people and have the company, and to be heard by them, to speak to them, and to hear them. Do you know what happens in that exchange? Remember I was saying that the body is ears. When we speak and when we exchange the voices, the sound of our voices, what happens to the nervous system is enormous. It's not a little event.
جعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل تتعارفوا. Was it in the Quran that we created you as mankind from different tribes?
That you should know one another. Exactly, that we should know one another. How do we do that? Someone asked the Prophet ﷺ asked someone and said, do you know this person? And he said, how do I determine where I know this person? You travel with him? You eat with him? What are the other things? What? You spend time in their home, I believe, right? Isn't that it? Huh? yeah, not
camping or something like that. When you travel with them, you sleep.
You spend time in their home. You live with them, or you be in their home. Yeah. So the point I hear.
Disagree about something. You might clarify for me much better.
Pardon me?
Sorry about interrupting you. You might clarify something much better. I disagree about something.